All right, let's go to Robbie Krieger. Robbie Rise
Oh,
Krieger.
what's up, guys?
All right, you're good to go.
Hey, everybody. Everybody hear me? All right. This is just part of my epic poem on my AT hike. We're coming out of the North Carolina Tennessee chaos, and it's just Tennessee now, which is right before Virginia. We took the grade out of Spivvy Gap, aiming for Uncle Johnny's hostel. It was the ultimate end of our map. Taxed by another tiring day and going down to the guardrail, there was nothing new, not much to say. Just satisfied to join with society, descending from the wood in decay. Our abode was in Irwin, Tennessee, where I had a huge resupply. The shuttle stopped at Walmart, and I hoarded honey buns, will not lie. Over 15 pounds of food, that's what the scale read, oh my. This was to be put in the pack, so let's keep focus. Meal at the Mexican restaurant resulted in beer mugs, barred, and a whole lot of hocus pocus. Stuffing ourselves in the shuttle, we headed back to the hostel, catching up with Q-Tip and Smallfly. They let me crash on their couch so I wouldn't be that stranded guy. All cozy and warm in the cabin, Q cooked us avocado burgers, midnight snack, these he made, as I passed the piece. It was a fair, joyous trade. Yes, Hercules was with us, a night of yore, as we talked of the truss, being built with our feet. It's these moments that I miss the most, but I'll continue writing. For you, dear reader, I am host. First when awake, off the couch, I crawled out of the cabin and swore that today I wouldn't slouch. Peering from the outside porch, I studied the scenery, knowing who was going to have to carry the torch. Creeping out at an early hour, I let everyone slumber. From impulsive instinct, I could not cower. Adios, Uncle Johnny's. Pioneering onward, I forged into Cherokee National Forest, getting soaked by an intense April storm. The relentless rain pestered my pack and I, nearly drove me insane. After 8 miles, there was some trail magic under a tent. Angels gave us a little grub, then I had to deal out my own rent. 10 more miles to soldier through, drenched by this downpour that left me cold, wet, and blue. 18 agonizing miles before I could slip out of the suffering shoe. Cramming myself into Cherry Gap shelter, Eliot and Che indulged me in dialogue as we perused over the poets, anything to try and discipline my dog. Che said that Emerson was too dry, but he wrote of nature's beauty, how healing is the brook, soil, and sky. Do not go where the path may lead. Go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. I'd never waver from Waldo. My faith in Ralph could never fail. Then Eliot and I discussed Into the Wild, Christopher McCandless. We wanted to know why. Speculating on that swollen Alaskan river, a mile away, there was a crossing. Just the thought of it makes me shiver. Maybe if he ate the poisonous root and broke from the bus, the bridge could have rescued his boot. Of course, we were caught in the thistle of theory. Alexander Supertramp, we really don't know. It's all very eerie. In a sense, it was a noble act. Hitchhiking to Alaska is visionary, romantic, and ideal. Yet Chris didn't give any care to the practical, what is real. Whispers of the wise owl who us to sleep as they howl from the high branches surrounding our worn and weary sheep. Some luck, there were even a few ladies snoring in their sleeping bags with us. Cherry Gap shelter in the Cherokee. I survived 18 miles of storm. It was excruciating, you'd agree. Striving for the secret Smoky. I label her as the last of a line. Entering the monastery, known as Roan Mountain, my dictionary can't truly define. A hideaway, these highlands, struggling right on up the incline. Ascending back and forth from cliff to cliff, the boundless panorama straightened me out. I wasn't so stiff. Hovering over the deciduous hardwood forest were my old friends, spruce and fir, an environment of elevation, aromatic evergreens, making my soul stir. With the wind of needles and cones, littering Earth's floor in the brown-orange Christmas zone, the lush, bright green moss scoured root and stone. I persisted to the top of the peak, submitting to the secret smoky. She finalized my physique. Bend to bend, around every corner, the increase, the elevation never seemed to end. At last, tucked away was our treehouse, Roan High Knob Shelter, the highest shelter on the AT, standing at 6,194 feet. We vanished up the vine to walk Boreal Northland Street. Stoic bows sat above the roof as the Canadian star twinkled through her pining, rustling hoof.
Awesome, Robbie. I just love that we're there with you. I love how we're just walking along with you. And it's fantastic. Oh, I'd love to be outside. Awesome.
Thank you, John. Thank you, man.
All right. Let's go. Megan McDonald. Megan, you are up.
Sorry, just trying to figure out the mute for some reason today. It didn't want to do it. Okay, so you can find a title for this one, John. It was originally Jupiter because I was doing a poem of peace to Holt's The Planets. And then I decided the first Jupiter didn't fit the overall theme. So this was written to Holt's Jupiter, but Jupiter doesn't fit as the title. Thunder rolls as paper dragons fly over horses bound by bands and stakes of cold iron. They all long to be free, but spend days twirling round and round in time tales pre-told. The non-ending tale is pre-told as the paper dragons by will spin round the open air bound to fly but not free by strings woven with iron. Strings of iron weave the tales pre-told, longing to be free. The paper dragons and carousel horses are ever bound to spin round and round. The set carousel route of iron, never free, always bound. In the afternoon, tales pre-told as the ever-changing audience watches paper dragons and carousel horses longing to be free. They dream to be free, twirling round. The paper dragons juggle flame, fail to melt iron, and the broken tales pre-told to the horses bound. Below, both bound, mounts and paper dragons try again to be free. In the non-ending tales pre-told to the circle of children sitting round, holding stakes of cold iron. Thunder rolls as paper dragons fly through pre-told tales. Still bound, the swooping paper dragons still long to be free, to join the carousel horses, to break cold iron. Okay.
Nicely done.
Strings. Dream as the clown mind flickers into view, dances out of the puppet theater. He spins, snaps the strings, and spins magic over the sleeper, sharing a shuttered dream. The snapped strings calls the puppet master to pull the clown mind back to wooden life. The mended strings leave the hand of the puppet master to coat the sleeper. I wake, a puppet waiting for work strings to control my life. And then the final one, Blue Birth of Dawn. Water strings, purple comet, tail feather, plumage, elements, the cycle of the moon, fire feather, ocean feather, earth feather, span of time under enigma's wing, the white dove child, heartbeat, fragile harmony. At the core of the bird nebula, wind flows of feathers in the purple cosmos, star feathers coalesce. Purple winged cosmos, ocean feathered wings for the world, wrapping the pearl of life in nautilus shell. Red feathers tear the fire of earth. Thank you.
Thank you, Megan. Love that last line. I love the color. Nicely done. Let's go up to Thomas Burson. Thomas Burson, Dr. Love. Let's see if he gives us some love poems tonight. Oh, still muted.
There we go.
There you go.
There's always one more button to push. This is called Pulling the Cork. The sorrow of night hangs thick in the leaves. The wind stilled, weighted with the humidity that promises lightning, splashes of thunder, a quick, swift freeing of wind. In the silence, she stretches, waves the fan, reaches out for the glass beside the table. It is filled with a dark red, hints of raspberries, memories of summers when she was coltish, a believer in romance, the right one, and love like waterfall, storm of rain. She looks for the moon. It has just begun to rise, and it is a fat light making chiaroscuro art out of shadows, tree trunks, and the farmhouse. She takes another sip and feels the velvet slide across her tongue, his skin sliding against hers, the tautness of youth, sweat of desire, fresh aromas of clover and straw, wild horse rides in dark fields, cornstalk mazes, dreams drunk down quickly. Wine, good wine, takes maturity. Children gulp like Kool-Aid, want sweet dreams without contrast, depth, and the understanding good times are only a relief from everyday pain. She sips, savors, and prepares. He comes home tonight. She intends to kill the entire bottle, even if it takes all night, and discover every flavor. He is a silver, clear flavor. Lightning strikes and joy awakens. Wines blend, and the land finds itself rooted in wonder of vines, grapes, magic, and each other.
Nice, yes.
Just wanted to be in keeping with what you were telling people about me. So, you know, I didn't want to go anything out of the ordinary. Can't hear a word you're saying for some reason.
I said, that's the Dr. Love I expect. Nicely done.
Oh, well, you're welcome. Okay, now the next one. Let me just pull it up here. This is a little different, but this is, the title should tell you that it's a little different. It's called Turtles. In the crumble of a morning, fog lifted, the ache of awakening, excuse me, let me start over again. Okay. In the crumble of a morning, fog lifted, the ache of awakening embarrassment, relieved, light penetrates, dissolves shadows, the roulette of choice clatters in the back of the mind. Turtles strut out of the grasses, dare to cross gravel back roads. Life has its own arrogance. Coffee, warm comfort, strips away the last snuggle of dreams. We trade the costumes of sleep for the pretense of daily consequence. Prisoner to routines, we watch the birds about the feeder, wonder what we would do with wings. After the strike of the thunderstorm, a sudden clarity wipes the air clean. I escape the shadows of my depression, no longer an empty mailbox, not worth a flyer or cobweb. The turtle has a shell. We create drugs, pardon me, cures, forget we only want to hold the sunshine we can find in someone else. The greedy are afraid of the cost of love, remain anchored in lists of reasons. The bird flapping against the window doesn't understand. Everything on the other side is buried in gravity. There you go, that's this one. And then the last one, hold on here. I'm not used to doing this on a phone, so this is all kind of new for me. Okay, now this next one, I was involved in a challenge of coming up with poetry about old myths and stuff like this. And I took on one that you'll understand real quickly. This is called Magic Finds a Path. Deep are the shadows, raven dark in the night, the winds whisper of flight, and she yearned to feel the arms forbidden to hold her tight. Oh, to be anything than a plaything, a daughter of the Sultan, a ruler bright, she had found the one who took ownership of her young heart. The only person who fit, and she wanted to hold her tight. Magic rules when love awakens, he told her he would find a way. She prayed. Dressed as a merchant, a caravan, camels laden with jewels, horses bedecked in wondrous reins and harnesses, pulling trains of carriages that contained everything that a heart could want. The Sultan was dazzled and counted coins with which he could pay. He touched and pawed his way through cloths, jewels, metals, armors, every object made by man or God a mortal king could ever dream to have. It truly made the Sultan's greedy heart sing. When all was done and a feast created, the formalities to celebrate the sale, the merchant told the king he had a gift for the daughter, if he would allow the merchant to provide one more gift. How could anyone say no? The Sultan's eyes glowed, for his daughter was to receive a gossamer beauty, woven by fairies and creatures of magic marked. It was a carpet, thick and plush, a carpet for her heart. Her love wove the night and the love's magic song, and she fell asleep upon the carpet. It rose and slipped upon the wind and flew to him. Love finds a way. The Sultan's gold and material wonders blinded him, and it cost him a daughter. Love gave a carpet wings. It never flew again. No need. It was happy. The heart carpet before the fire.
I loved it. Nicely done. Nicely done, Tom. That was
Okay.
great. It was perfect. Oh,
Well, there was something about the magic carpets I've always run from, like from Scheherazade, and even Disney couldn't destroy my joy in all those tales.
it was really good. I liked it. I liked it a lot. Thank you. Let's go with Katherine Gotthardt. Katherine, you are up.
Okay, so I have two from a collection that's not published yet. The second one is the poem that got published in Dis magazine, but I'm going to read the first one. They're sort of related. So the first one is called Voting Day. Shadow halves the street, my feet reaching to light, couple of voters heading in Dark's direction, reminding me everything is partisan. How we look past the other, how we feign to ignore, how we pretend to rush, though surely as we pass our shoulders will brush. It's sad, really. We might have been friends. And the second one that appeared in Dis is called Post-Election. The season of dirt digging has not ended. Daily rumor planting, granular gossip still slipping through the fingers of media gone mad. How they speak of what was said and done, each word handled with gloves, put into pots, placed in the light to grow with public opinion. What will sprout, I cannot tell you. No one can. Not the anchorman, nor the audience, nor any poll that claims to know what group voted for whom. No, there is no measure of truth, nothing more than whim and wind, clouds defaming the sun, everyone wondering who really won. Thank you.
Nice. I like it. Thank you very much. Let's go to Wills. Wills to one. Yep.
Can anybody hear me?
Yep. You're good.
All right. I got 3 poems I'm gonna read to you. I switch up one of them. So the 3 poems I'm gonna read, the first one's King. The next one is a haiku called Cardigans. And my last one's gonna be Whiskey and Thinking. So the first one It's called King. Once you get it, you'll be the king. All the money in the world can't buy anything. Wait for everybody to see how brighter. As you become older, you'll be wiser. That's King. Next one's a haiku. It's called Cardigans. You know why we're in the fall? Because I love me some cardigan. Warm, fluffy layer. Button up and button down. Goes with everything. That's Cardigans. Last one, whiskey and thinking. You've been chasing nothing but fantasies. Putting past experience behind you. You never pay attention. What is on the news? Just turn on the AC and plan your trip to DC. A little whiskey and thinking, primarily. Such much pressure going on. I'm getting homesick. Reality is difficult for me. Let's go off on an adventure to see everything. We're off to drink away. And that is whiskey and thinking. Thank you.
Thank you, Will. I loved your cardigan haiku. Perfect for this weather. Perfect. Oh,
Thank you.
nice job. All right, let's go with Brittany. Brittany, you are up.
All right, so these poems are on my phone, so I won't be able to share video. The first one is me basically whining about being uninspired and not thinking of anything to write. I call it Catch My Muse. A light-footed fairy dancing on nimble feet, leading a chase. I stumble clumsily, searching for words, finding mindless lint. You laugh at my attempts and inattention, unable to keep pace. To catch my muse would be a feat. Alas, I am stuck in quicksand. The other one is my own garden. And I wrote it kind of along the lines of thinking about how we often take care of other people's problems and neglect our own. I watered my garden with tears, but my neighbor's garden with purest water. I covered my lilies in shadows and shade, while my family's flowers got sunlight. Then I wondered why other people's gardens had blooms, mine had only weeds. I am learning to tend my own beds, catching the weeds at their sprouting. Planting and tending, fixing and mending, no more labor lending. I'm worth the effort I'm spending.
Excellent. I loved your first one, Catch the Muse. Spot on during these times, definitely. Thank you, Brittany. Did you have one more? I don't know.
No, just two. Thank you, though.
You got it. I just want to make sure. Thank you. Brian Donnell James, you are up.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Want to follow up with the love doctor there just a little bit, just pull on his coattails a bit. And the first piece is entitled "In the Loving." It's going to be in my upcoming book with the wonderful publishers, Local Gems, out of upstate New York. It is in your loving, it is in your healing, my confidant. It is in the decades of tenderness where you have never been absent from my life, and never absent in the yearning to make love. It is in the kissing of my eyelids when I am weary, when you think that I am at rest. When I am cold, you cuddle close. You are the solar warming within my rib. And when universal blackness lays upon us, yes, when the quilt of night keeps us huddled beneath, exposed and fragile, I have no choice but to explore your hills and caverns and rise with the morning dew, replenished and reborn. Thank you. And the second one is called Blind. I've read that several times at Ronnie's Coffee House, so forgive me if you've heard it a few thousand times. Just felt like reading it tonight. Blind. Yet even when I close my eyes and fall into the abstract art, ablaze in color against my inner blackness, your image beckons through, an outline etched in a vivid shade. In stellar points of light, I see you, like moonbeams on the dark seas of my mind. And on this shoreline of eternity, I stand on notice, on the abyss of an endless void. As you ebb and flow with my pulse, you are the pattern of my heartbeat. And when I close my eyes, I find myself almost wishing to be blind, if only to touch you in new dimensions and make love to you in new depths. Go deeper than thy flesh. I want to know thy essence, where marrow and bone are replaced by stardust and cosmos, where your soul is free. I want to know you there, my love. And yes, I would choose to remain blind, to be forever cast in ebony, save for your likeness, save for your image, for this would be the better blessing, indeed, my heaven. Thank you. And the last piece actually isn't mine, but it's a wonderful piece by a poet named Stephanie. It was written by a teenager in 1968. I read it in a book when I was a teenager called The Black Poets. And she was the only author that did not have a last name. It was just called Stephanie. So it took me 25 years to find this original book, dated 1968. As you can see, it only costs $1. But I would just like to share one of her many beautiful poems. This is why I love poetry, especially with young people. I try to encourage that because she wrote this as a teenager, and it's very beautiful. So I thought I would share it. That We Head Towards is the name of it. That we head towards our separate end, and know it only by the name of death, but makes this life with you more dear. And having known this joy and you so tender, without a fear I face this life so beautiful, and in the end will with pain surrender the sight, the touch, the memory of you. Isn't that beautiful? Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Always educating. I love it. Nicely done. And I love that on my screen I have Dr. Love on, both Dr. Loves right there. Tom and Brian right next to me. I love it. Dr. Love. It's a theme tonight, I can just tell. Let's go with Kimberly Ray. Kimberly, you are up.
Hi, everybody. Tonight I've got 3 poems I want to read. The first one is going to be The Elephant Moms. I read this before at Girani, and it is actually being read tonight because it's the 3rd year anniversary of our friend that passed away from breast cancer, my running group. So this is The Elephant Moms. In a distant land, there lies a village of elephant moms. They've bonded over time through struggles and times of joy. They lift each other up and surround themselves and their families in love. They carry the torch from one to the other in times of need to keep the light shining. They heal, protect, feed, and nurture each other. These elephant moms unconsciously subscribe to the way of the pack, and before too long, they've become stronger together. I pledge to be in your pack. I pledge to protect you from harm's way. I pledge to heal you when you are weak. I pledge to feed you when you are hungry. I pledge to nurture you to become a stronger woman, mother, friend, sister, daughter, and wife. I pledge to be there in times of need. I pledge to lead when you need to follow. I pledge to support you and lift you up, as I know that you will do the same for me. All right, that's Elephant Moms. And it was a touching poem that I wrote in memory of her before she passed. The next one I have is called The Raging Heart. The very machine that gives life could easily take mine away. The piercing from exhaustion punctures my living, my breathing. Every bodily function is affected as I reach my hand towards the pulsing and thumping, racing through my chest. I don't want this to be how I end. I can't let others see me this way. I hold on tight to life as my chest tightens. I sit, I breathe, and then I let it pass. For this too shall pass. And the last one I have is called Sudden Attack. My heart stops, my stomach drops, and fear attacks, tearing and scraping my insides. I step back, it's not the right time. It's too delicate, my hands are unsteady. I stall, I ruminate, I do all the things to not mess this up. I just can't mess this up, but I fear I will, gravely, so I don't move. This is what it feels like when people ghost. It's too much to move forward, so I turn in the opposite direction. And I have one quick one, if you don't mind.
No.
It's Dystoria. The way you say the things you don't, carefully crafted to disguise parts of you in other realms. It's an alarming surprise the way you reveal your true self to me. Leaves me empty, reduced to mysterious needs. I look away and say, can't we just talk poetry? That's it. I can't hear you
John,
anymore.
you're muted, John.
I said, thank you very much. Make sure, because did you put all of them in that, even the last one, you put the title in for me? If you
I
have,
will.
excellent.
I haven't yet. I will.
Excellent. If you guys have not typed your titles of the pieces in the chat, it would be greatly appreciated. Thank you again, Kimberly. All right, let's go to, where'd you go? Lesley Tyson. Lesley.
Okay, I've got a couple tonight. This first one is called Erasure, and it is about a sketch of a woman that Rembrandt did. And for a long time, there was a lot of discussion about why he did the sketch the way he did. Because it was of an African slave woman in Amsterdam. And the features that he has done is, and the poem kind of explains why, but it was a product of his time. Erasure. It wasn't a matter of erasure that he sketched her skin, icy, white, cold, no expression. His inspiration had a lifeless start in the death mask of chilly marble, where she shrank into herself with each exhalation as her skin bleached to bloodless. How could he have guessed, a sight rarely seen, that she was anything but cold or smooth stone revealing its own views? He could never imagine her eyes warm fire, defying her changed circumstances, imprisoned in cages of masters she will only obey in hope to return where the royalty of her scars are not smoothed away to conform with the beauty she doesn't believe in. And We've been trying out different prompts to try and keep writing, because that is a challenge. It seems if I don't have a prompt, I am not doing it. And I've got company, of course. It's called Agate. Stone turns to frozen rainbows, under pressure, clouding clarity, pressing adversity into hidden stars, like voices in your head keeping secrets. Under pressure, clouding clarity, forming layers of elements, like voices in your head keeping secrets. Emotions become shade and hue, forming layers of elements, living color for persistent grounding. Emotion becomes shade and hue, becoming one with roots. Living color for persistence, grounding, turning hard blue to eloquent communication, becoming one with roots, opening to heart's truth unspoken. Turning hard blue to elegant communications, igniting creativity in stone-trapped fire, opening to heart's truth unspoken. Finding will to break open into layers, igniting creativity in stone-trapped fire, pressing adversity into hidden stars. Finding will to break open into layers, stone turns to frozen rainbows.
Nice. I like it. Did you, I want to say Megan already asked, was that, what form was that?
That was a pantoum.
Okay. And I thought it was definitely a pattern going on. I was like, there's that form. I like it. I love the challenge of those as well. So
yeah,
that was an awesome job. Thank you.
And somebody needs his claws trimmed.
Let me see where we've been switching around. All right, Nick Hale. Nick Hale, you are up. It was amazing that he stayed quiet all this long. I'm sure Lesley Tyson just absolutely loved that. So now's your chance. Take it away.
You sure you want to do that? Give me a turn. Hi, everybody. I have a couple of announcements. Should I hold those for the end, John? Or do you mind if I...
What? What's you? Holding something in? No, go ahead.
Okay. So first of all, if anybody's waiting on either the Prince William or the Fairfax County books, I've been having a lot of trouble with the post office. So I'm going to send them out again, but I was actually thinking about doing, and some people already I've responded to that I'm going to be dropping them off personally. But I was considering doing like an in-person pickup. So if you haven't gotten your books yet and you haven't already done so, send me an email, please, and let me know, because I've been having a lot of issues with stuff not going where they were supposed to from the shipping. Also, if you're interested in any of our fall events that we do as Nova Bards, some of those may still be happening virtually. So the Masquerade's not going to happen this year. Sorry, that's 3 years in a row. Next year, we'll get it next year. Bards Against Hunger, we are definitely going to have. It's definitely going to be virtual in some form. We're just figuring out what. And of course, because the Nova Bards launch is being moved, and we will have a live and virtual component to Nova Bards, we're going to have a workshop in October. So if you're interested in joining us for a poetry critique workshop, it's going to be on Zoom. John, I will send you the information ahead of time so that you can post it in Spilled Ink. So if you're interested, that'll be available too.
All right, that's great. Make sure it's not like an hour before the event. I'm just
I'll try. We had a little bit of a communication problem where it was sent to me and I didn't see it, and so I had to. Lesley luckily followed up and it was like, "Hey, did you get it? What are you doing?" So
now, which email do you want me to send it to?
Send it to the LG Poetry one. That's the one I tend to check the most.
LG Poetry.
Yeah. Anything that ends in Gmail, I will see faster than anything else.
Okay.
Sounds good. And then
All right.
you'll send me the information. We'll put it up on the Facebook page and on the website as well.
Yes.
All right.
Okay,
I got it.
I'll set that up probably tomorrow and send it to you.
Perfect.
All right.
Thank you. All right, I've got 3 poems today. I'm being greedy. The first one was one of the 2 poems I've written all year. This is this some kind of joke? A kind soul told me April Fool's Day was canceled, since all the fools were out carousing and spread car lengths in parking lots in the time of home is just a place you store your toilet paper. April Fool's Day was canceled, she said, on the bandwagons, with concerts and sports games, the Olympics, R. Kelly, and Chick-fil-A, anything else that calls people together or allegedly offends hypothetical sensibilities to keep us from melting before we can stick. They canceled it, yes. Only this year, the fools have a conflict. Breathing on produce, licking toilet seats in the unisex bathrooms behind a Texaco and God knows where because are there even any Texacos anymore? I haven't seen one in forever. Maybe they're just not around. She told me April Fool's Day was canceled this year, and I believed her. My second one is the other poem that I wrote this year, and this is going to be incredibly controversial, probably. 2020 is a gift. It may not seem like hidden fringes, the prize we have to work for, bottom of the cereal box, in a world where trophies are free. The quest for the blessing is its own kind. We're not drowning, thirsty, desiccated. We sneeze in the inferno. We swallow the fetid boon of an ungrateful spring against our better reason to save our better angels. This is how growth happens. The line goes, we grow together, apart. From the safety of our own airspace, we learn the lessons we missed last time, all the times before we fell for life's sleight of hand. This is a gift. And then the last one is a tribute to a couple of friends, a couple of absent friends that have been missing lately. I wrote this a while ago, back when we were together, and I haven't seen them in a while, so I'm going to read it here. 3 perspectives. On the couch, drinking tea, writing poetry no one will ever read, my friends and I. Tea dizzied in a flurry of friendly philosophy. Mints, minds meld, mutate, mundane into magic, collective creative consciousness. In a momentum of peace, I take a long sip. The bittersweet tea warms me with a familiar smile, despite the cold of the room. Ideas flow like moths of worship to the page. Indeed, 3 gathered in the name of Hallelujah. That's all I've got.
Thank you very much, Nick. Definitely, I can't wait to get back to live because I know some people, that's all they're waiting for. And because some of them are not technical savvy, or they just, they're not making other plans. But I know when we're back, they love coming out. And so I'm looking forward to that too. Seeing old friends and doing this thing live. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
All right, John Cowgill, you are up. John Cowgill.
All right, here, wrong sport. Yeah, I can't wait to see everybody live too, because it was just always so fun to just be together. And I have not been a fan of this video stuff myself, but I've had to do a lot of webinars with people on this stuff, but hopefully it's going to happen soon, But in the meantime, let me get to doing what I'm here to do, and that is to read some stuff. And this first one is called At This Very Time. At this very time we are here. At this very time we are not here. At this very time we are going. At this very time we are stopped. At this very time everything is new. At this very time everything is old. At this very time we are moving fast. At this very time we are moving slow. At this very time it is hot. At this very time it is cold. At this very time it is bright. At this very time it is dark. At this very time it is day. At this very time it is night. At this very time people are hungry. At this very time people are full. At this very time the train is arriving. At this very time the train is departing. At this very time the children are good. At this very time the children are bad. At this very time people are alive. At this very time people are dead. At this very time they are high. At this very time they are low. At this very time things are noisy. At this very time things are silent. At this very time there is war. At this very time there is peace. At this very time there is love. At this very time there is hate. At this very time there is time. At this very time there is no time at all. At this very time, this very time. And that is number one. And of course, we got to do a superhero. Captain Goodman. It was 55 o'clock in the morning in Van Grove City. All was quiet. Meanwhile, Mark Booz was sitting in his library when he got a call. Captain Goodman, this is the commissioner. The evil Dr. Evilgood is about to vaporize the city. You must stop him this instant. You can count on me. Dr. Evilgood will be stopped. Mark Booz went to the bathroom. He flipped the lever on the toilet, and the secret room appeared. This is a job for Captain Goodman. Immediately, Mark Booz was Captain Goodman. He went to the Goodmobile and saw that it was up on blocks. Bud the faithful mechanic came out. Why is the Goodmobile on blocks? Well, it needed new tires. I went to the tire shop and they say it will take 3 weeks to get the tires. The evil Dr. Evilgood is about to vaporize Van Grove City, and I must stop him. Why don't you call the evil Dr. Evilgood to wait 3 weeks so that you can get their new tires for the Goodmobile so that you will have enough time to stop him? Yeah, let me see. I will have to use the good copter. Captain Goodman went to the good copter and pressed the ignition button. Over to here, a slight crank, and then nothing. Oh, the battery is dead on the good copter. They said they would order a new battery as soon as the tires for the Goodmobile arrive. Oh, great. Now I have to use the good boats. Don't bother. Me and Will went fishing last week. We hit a rock and it sank to the bottom of the river. I did call the Quick Fast Boat Shop where they can get us a boat quick and fast. And they say we can have a brand new boat in 6 months. What am I supposed to do now? I can call a taxi. Bud, the faithful mechanic, called a taxi. When the taxi arrived, Captain Goodman got in. After driving around for many hours, they arrived at the evil Dr. Evilgood, who was sitting on the lawn chair next to Gummigan Blaster, drinking a beer. Oh, Captain Goodman, you're too late. I vaporized the city 6 hours ago. You can enjoy a beer with me if you like. Well, the city was vaporized. Captain Goodman failed to save the day, and he had to pay a $1 million cab fare to a driver who had no clue where he was going. If anything went Captain Goodman's way today, it was the fact that he would not have to hear his fierce anger from the commissioner. he had no city to save. He would have to find another city. This has been an exciting episode of Captain Goodman. Join us next week and Captain Goodman takes on the Giving Thief. And that is my stories for the day.
Oh, John, I love Captain Goodman. It needs to be like an adult graphic novel, okay? That's what you need to do. You find yourself somebody to illustrate it, and it doesn't even, I'm thinking like, go find the book Dog Man. You can, it's something like that type of images and graphic arts. I mean, I'm telling you, it would sell. Captain Goodman.
You need to record a reading of that. Sorry, John. But that, yeah.
I might have to do it.
Oh my gosh.
Amanda Judd's been trying to get me like another poem that I read some time ago. She said, "Oh, you gotta do an illustration of that." So
exactly. I think that is it for everybody. Make sure you've typed all of your titles in the chat. I truly appreciate you. I know we're all struggling in this tough time, but you know what? I'm glad we have this going, and you guys do a great job, and I miss you. I can't wait to do this again live, but keep scribbling, and it is what it is, and it's the best we got, and I'm loving it. So take care. Be safe. Megan, do